Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? I haven't seen you in a while. There's like an echo right now. Okay. I haven't seen you well, I wasn't here last week, so I apologize. Mi nombre es Lily y bienvenidos a mi plataforma que se llama The English Fox. So we are in the process of buying we bought a new home, so we are selling our home right now. So this is why I wasn't there last week. It's been very, very busy, so I apologize for that. I hope everyone can hear me. And let's see who is connected right now. Just see if we should start. Okay. Okay. All right. So today we have an interesting class y voy a mezclar un poco los dos idiomas. Hablo un poco de español. El español mío no es perfecto. I have told you that before. Okay. All right. Sorry, we are having some technological problems right now, but I think everything is okay right now. So, voy a mezclar un poco, ¿ok? Un poco de inglés, español, lo hago a propósito. It is for you. It's to help you with your listening. También quiero practicar mi español con ustedes. But as I said, the most important thing is for you to learn English, to listen and to practice. Okay? Y hoy lo que vamos a hacer, vamos a leer juntos una historia corta. Oh, we have Jenny. Hi, I think that you speak Spanish very well. Thank you, Jenny. I try. I still make mistakes all the time, but it is very, very normal to make mistakes. It is part of the learning process. So let's start. So today we will, hold on. Okay. Today, what we will do is we will read a short story together. We will identify the verbs, excuse me, we will identify the verbs in the story. We will learn some vocabulary. We will work on the pronunciation of some words and we will do a mini quiz at the end. Okay, so vamos a leer una historia corta juntos. Vamos a identificar los verbos en la historia. Después vamos a aprender, al mismo tiempo vamos a aprender vocabulario, trabajar en la pronunciación de varias palabras y vamos a hacer un mini quiz al final. Okay? Excellent. Okay, Hallman. Good morning, teacher. How nice your way of teaching. Saludos desde Colombia. Si ustedes me pueden decir de dónde son, it would be awesome. I would love to see where you guys are from. And make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, if you want to get some the notifications of my classes. Y hago clases, mini lecciones los martes a las 12 p.m., ¿ok? Hora del este, hora de Nueva York, de Toronto. Estoy en Canadá, ¿ok? Y soy canadiense. Hablo francés, hablo inglés y hablo un poco de español. So, as I said, I will speak and I will mix the two languages. Tenemos a Luis. Hola, Luis. Saludos desde Deltona. Alberto, saludos desde Argentina. Super, Alberto. ¿De qué ciudad? Belisario Gaitán from Mexico. Heidi o Heidi Rodríguez. Hola, un abrazo desde Bogotá. Jenny, yes. Oh, Jenny is from Venezuela. Jenny, ¿vives en Venezuela ahora? ¿Ahora estás ahí? ¿O estás en los Estados Unidos? Y tenemos a Juan Manuel Gómez de Spain, España. Excellent. Laura, good morning. Saludos desde Mexico. Oh my God, this is great. I love having people from all over the world. We can learn from each other. I learned many words, many expressions from different countries in Spanish. I love it. Okay, are you ready? All right. Okay, so the story today is Brooke's smoothie recipe. Okay. Lo que voy a hacer, voy a leer el texto. I will read it first. Listen, try to read at the same time, but just listen. Listen to my pronunciation. And then after that, I will read it a second time. Read it with me. Okay, si están manejando, obviously you cannot read, but you can listen twice. You can listen to me twice. Brooke's smoothie recipe. Brooke was a very good cook, but she did not want to make the same food every day. So she stood in her kitchen and looked around. Finally, she decided to put some apples, strawberries, bananas, and 3 scoops of chocolate ice cream into the blender. She pushed the red button and whoosh, it went as it shook the small wooden table. She excitedly poured the mixture into her glass. Brooke then drank the delicious smoothie. All right, one last time. Brooke was a very good cook, but she did not want to make the same food every day. So she stood in her kitchen and looked around. Finally, she decided to put some apples, strawberries, bananas, and 3 scoops of chocolate ice cream into the blender. She pushed the red button and whoosh it went as it shook the small wooden table. Excuse me. She excitedly poured the mixture into her glass. Brooke then drank the delicious smoothie. Okay. Smoothie. What is a smoothie? What is it in Spanish? A smoothie is un batido. Un batido. Okay? Jenny is, just before we continue, Jenny is asking, I want to know if it's possible, that is possible to learn 2 languages at the same time. Yes, it is possible to learn 2 languages at the same time. We have different compartments in our brain, and we just put the information in the different compartments. Our brain is something that is wonderful. So yes, it is possible. La hija de nosotros, que mi esposo es cubano, yo soy canadiense, tenemos una hija de 5 años y está aprendiendo. Yo hablo francés en la casa. Hablo un poco de inglés con mi esposo, un poco de español de vez en cuando. La niña mía o la niña de nosotros habla francés, inglés y español. Surprisingly though, her Spanish, like she makes a lot of mistakes in Spanish, but her father, so my husband, speaks to her only in Spanish, but she speaks more English than Spanish, but she's speaking the 3 of them. And every day she mixes the 3 all the time. So sí es posible. Definitely. We might make mistakes when we learn different languages, but it is okay. Making mistakes is normal. Okay? All right. Super. Let's find all the verbs in the short story. Y los verbos en la historia are in the past tense, the simple past tense. So on the first line, la primera línea, o fila, o la línea, like it's not a sentence, so it's just the first line. Where are the verbs? Brooke was a very good cook, but she did not want to. Where are the verbs? Let's see. The first verb is was. Brooke was. It's the verb to be in the past tense. And we also have did want. Okay, we don't, not is not a verb, but did want are other verbs here. Second line, where are the verbs? To make, we will not count it as a verb because it is in the infinitive. It's in its infinitive form. It is not conjugated, but let's find another one here in the second line, on the second line, that is conjugated. Did you find it? Stood. So she stood. We pronounce it stood, not stood. Okay? Not stood. It's stood. Muy rápido. Okay? Una O corta. Stood. She stood in her kitchen and looked around. So she stood in her kitchen and looked around. So the next sentence, or the next line, the third line, where are the verbs? There are two. Can you identify them? We have looked, to look around, to look around, to look, and to look around. I'm looking around. Okay, so you're looking around. And we also have decided. Es una E. La primera E, we pronounce it decided. Okay, decided. Some people say decided. Some people say decided. Los dos funcionan. Okay. The fourth line, where are the verbs? Some apples, strawberries, bananas, and 3 scoops of Is there a verb here? No verb. There's no conjugated verb here. So let's go to the fifth line. Fifth line, we have pushed. Push. Did your husband live in Calle Libertad en Morón? No creo que se llamaba Calle Libertad. No me acuerdo el de la calle. But it's not Libertad, Luis. I will let you know. I would remember. It's not Libertad. Okay. Yeah, my husband, by the way, lived in Cuba before. We got married, and then he came to Canada in 2015. So he has been here in Canada for 8 years already, 8.5 years. So we have the next verb on the fifth line is pushed. Pushed, not pushed, not poo. It's pushed, pushed. It's the verb to push, okay? Or to push, all right? Then we have, on the next line, we have the verbs went, it went. It's the verb to go, but in the past tense, okay? And the verb, well, the other verb is it shook, shook. It comes from the verb to shake, something that is shaking, algo que está temblando, okay? O si estás sacudiendo algo. Creo que se dice así, sacudir. Bueno, so to shake, and it is I shake something, and in the past tense is I shook something, shook. Try to say it, shook. And then the Sorry, I'm counting in French right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh line, which verbs do we have? We have poured. She excitedly poured the mixture into, and then the rest. El verbo aquí es el verbo to pour, to pour, to pour something, okay? ¿Y cómo lo está haciendo? Lo está haciendo con excitement. She's excited. Excited en español me dijeron que no excitada. Creo que excitada quiere decir otra cosa. So it is not excitada. She excitedly, that means she's all excited. She's all happy and she's excited. And she's excited. While she is excited, she is pouring the mixture into her glass. Okay? And then the last, emocionada, Heidi. Thank you. Yes, emocionada. That is the word that I was looking for. And then the last sentence, we have drank. Brooke then drank the delicious smoothie. To drink, it is the verb to drink. En el presente decimos I drink. En el pasado simple, decimos I drank. I drank a glass of milk. I drank milk last night. I drank a coffee last night. Okay, en el pasado. Okay, now let's see. Vamos a ver un poco de vocabulario. So, vocabulary and pronunciation. Okay, so the verb, the noun, el sustantivo. Oh no, era un verbo. No, sorry. She was a very good cook. Sustantivo. A cook. One cook. The cook. Cook. Not cook. I did not say cook. It is cook. Cook. Muy rápido. Cook. Okay? Say it. Cook. Okay, cook is in Spanish, cocinero, cocinera. So in this, in our story, Brooke is a girl. She's a woman or she's a girl. So it is feminine. And that's it. So we say cocinera. The second word or words or phrase is so she stood there. Okay, so if we go back to the story, second line, so she stood in her kitchen. Why did I put there? But it doesn't matter. So she stood there in her kitchen and looked around. What does it mean? So she stood in her kitchen. It's like saying, so she stood there in her kitchen and looked around. ¿Qué quiere decir eso en español? So she stood. Or so she stood there. Es como decir, ella se quedó ahí and looked around. To stand, so if I stand, ponerse de pie, to stand. But when we say she stood and looked around, it just means she stayed there and looked around. Okay? So she stood there and looked around. Se quedó ahí. And then 3 scoops. 3, th. La TH, super difícil, right? The. 3. Okay? 3. You need to feel some air. Okay? You should feel air on your hand. 3. 3 scoops. Scoops. La doble O aquí hace el sonido U. Scoops. 3 scoops. What does that mean? 3 scoops. It means 3 cucharadas. 3 cucharadas. So Juan Manuel Gómez permaneció de pie ahí y miró a su alrededor. Yes, so she stood there and looked around. Permaneció de pie ahí y miró a su alrededor. That is perfect, Juan. Thank you. So 3 scoops is tres cucharadas. Sometimes we say 3 teaspoons. Those are the small spoons. 3 tablespoons are the bigger spoons. So when we make a recipe, we make something, we bake, and we need to put something in our bowl. We put 3 scoops of something, but we can also say 3 teaspoons, 3 tablespoons. You have to look at your recipe and follow what it says, okay? So in our text, it said 3 scoops. Después tenemos the blender. Blender. What is blender? Blender. Okay, tenemos a Erika Brenes. Hola, desde Costa Rica. Hello. Welcome. So, blender. What is that in Spanish? Okay, I have licuadora. La licuadora. Creo que en Cuba mucha gente dice batidora. But blender, licuadora, I have. That's what I found. Okay. Y tenemos también a Joss Flo. Hello, Joss. Okay. The next word here. She pushed. She pushed the red button. I believe that's what it said. She pushed a red button. She pushed. Pushed. Okay. La E-D al final. Aquí no se pronuncia, okay? En español pronunciamos todo, okay? If I would be reading this, if I had to read this in a Spanish way, I would say, she pushed. No, in English, we don't say she pushed. We say she pushed. La E-D se convierte en el sonido T. Pushed. Pushed. Say it. Pushed. Pushed. That's it. You got it. She pushed. Okay? So when you're pushing a button, estás apretando algo. Un botón, algo. So apretó, pulsó, presionó. Sé que mi esposo dice apretar un botón, pero a lo mejor en su país dicen otra cosa. And you can tell me in the comments because I love to learn new words or new ways to say things. Okay? All right. Pulsar, empujar, dice Juan Manuel. Thank you very much, Juan Manuel. I appreciate it. Okay, pulsar, empujar, espichar. Heidi. Heidi, ¿de Venezuela me dijiste? O espichar. I like to know. I like to know. Sorry, I ask a lot of questions. This is me. The next word or the next phrase, it shook the small wooden table. It shook. It's to shake, right? It shook the small wooden table. Heidi, Colombia, right. Thank you. It shook the small wooden table. Okay. Yo escribí eso anoche, cuando preparé la clase, pero no sé si sacudió es la palabra correcta aquí. Sacudió la mesa pequeña de madera. Okay. En inglés podemos decir que algo está hecho de madera. We can say wooden. A wooden table. The table is made out of wood, So we can say a wooden table. Y wooden aquí sería el adjetivo. ¿Okay? ¿Cómo es cómo es la mesa? Es pequeña y es también de madera. Okay? So two adjectives. We have small and we have wooden. And we put them before the noun. The small wooden table. All right? Super. To shake, Juan Manuel go. Yes, to shake. So to press the blender button. ¿Cuál sería la diferencia entre decir she pushed the blender? ¿Cuál sería la frase correcta? No. If you say she pushed the blender, que vamos a decir que esto aquí es la licuadora. Whoops, sorry. I just pressed something here. Okay. So if this is la licuadora, if I say she pushed the blender, it means I would push. It means I would push the blender. No, so we would say she pushed the button. You push, beep, un botón aquí. Beep. Okay. So aquí, no sé, there's a button here on the computer and I'm pressing on a button. Okay. No el teclado, pero vamos, es que mi esposo tiene muchas cosas aquí. No sé si ustedes pueden ver, no creo que pueden ver. Pero hay muchos botones de diferentes colores aquí. Y si if I press a button, this is what I would say. I'm pressing a button, okay? All right. Empujar. Yes, empujar is another word. Thank you. Okay, and then she poured the mixture. Mixture. La T es como una CH. Mixture. Como picture. Okay? Mixture. The mixture. She poured the mixture. ¿Qué quiere decir? She poured the mixture. To pour something. To pour a liquid into something. So when I looked that word up last night, me dio la palabra vertió. Vertió el batido. Y mi esposo me dijo, yo no uso esa palabra. Y me dijo, yo diría, echó la mezcla o echó el batido en el vaso, dentro del vaso. Entonces, ustedes me pueden decir how I would say this. So, you pour. So, vamos a decir que esto aquí es la licuadora. Y there's a little triangle part here. Y I am pouring the liquid, el batido adentro, en el vaso mío. I go like this. I pour the smoothie into my glass or into my cup. This is a cup, but if I had a glass, I would be like this. I am pouring it into my glass. Okay? Hecho, usamos el verbo servir. Yeah, we could say to serve something. Yes, that's another word we could have used, but we said could have used. Yes, super. Now, with the vocabulary that you just learned, you might have learned a few words here. Vamos a leer una última vez. Okay, por una última vez, el texto, la historia corta, a ver si entienden más lo que dice el texto. Brooke's smoothie recipe. Did you notice in the title the apostrophe S? This means possession. I could have written the smoothie recipe of Brooke. Pero es muy largo. Entonces, no escribí eso. I put Brooke in the front and I added apostrophe S. Brooke's smoothie recipe. Okay? Jenny, thank you. Colocó la mezcla o vertió la mezcla. Thank you. Okay, let's read it one last time. Read it with me. Brooke's smoothie recipe. Brooke was a very good cook, but she did not want to make the same food every day. So she stood in her kitchen and looked around. Finally, she decided to put some apples, not apples. I know that many Hispanoparlantes dicen apples. No, it's apples. Okay? Finally, she decided to put some apples, strawberries, bananas, and 3 scoops of chocolate ice cream into the blender. She pushed the red button and whoosh it went as it shook the small wooden table. She excitedly, that's an adverb, excitedly, okay? La mayoría de los adverbios terminan en ly, okay? She excitedly poured the mixture into her glass, en su vaso. Brooke then drank the delicious smoothie. Okay, now a little quiz. We're going to take 2 minutes to answer 3 questions, I believe. I believe there are 3 questions. Okay, first question. What did Brooke put into her smoothie? I want you to answer in a full sentence, okay? Me tienen que dar la respuesta en una oración completa, okay? No quiero que digan, no quiero que digan uvas, plátano, and yogurt. No, I want you to respond, to give me the answer in a full sentence. So if I say, what did Brooke put into her smoothie? You would say, Brooke put, en el pasado, put es el mismo que el presente. I put, y en el pasado, I put. You don't say I putted. No, it stays the same. Okay, lo mismo. Brooke put apples, strawberries, bananas, and 3 of chocolate ice cream. Ella puso 4 cosas. Ella echó 4 cosas dentro de la licuadora o en el batido. Manzanas, fresas, banana o plátano y 3 cucharadas de helado de chocolate. 3 what? 3 scoops. Okay? All right. Heidi, perfect. She put strawberries, bananas, and some apples, and the 3 scoops of chocolate ice cream. All right. Carlos Chavaria, good morning, teacher. Good morning. Here in Ottawa, mi ciudad, la capital de Canadá, son las 12:36. So I should say good afternoon. Okay, next question. What color was the button on the blender? Answer in a full sentence. What color was the button on the blender? Have you noticed the word color here? En Canadá, y creo también que en United Kingdom, so Inglaterra y all those countries around there, color se escribe con OU. En los Estados Unidos escriben la palabra color sin la U. So the two are accepted. Okay? So what color was the button on the blender? What is the answer? The button on the blender was red. The button on the blender was red. Okay. And now the last question. Okay. Present and simple past tenses. Choose the correct answer. I put one verb in the present tense and I put the verb in the past tense right beside. Look at the group A, the group B, and group C. Look at the three groups and tell me which one is correct. I'll give you 10 seconds, 15 seconds to check that out. Let me know which one is correct. Juan Manuel, the button of the blender was red. Yes, perfect. The only thing, Juan Manuel, is the word botón en español. En inglés, la pon una U. Where you have your first O, put a U. Button. Y obviously, there's no... what is the name of that accent again? Obviously, in English, there's no accent like that. Okay? Okay, tell me which one is correct. I push. Okay, so let's look at A. I push, I pushed. I pour, I poured. I shake, I shook. I stand, I stood. B. I push, I pushed. I pour, I poured. I shake, I shook. I stand, and I standed. C, group C. I push, I pushed. I pour, I poured. With two R's in group C for pour, poured. I shake, I shook, and I stand, and I stood. En el grupo B, tenemos también lo que es diferente, standed for el pasado. And which one is the right answer? Yes, most of you got it right, I believe. Lucianino Sosa. Tenemos Jelly Fausudi Restrepo Mesa. Fernando dice letter A. Tenemos a Jenny que dice, I think letter A. Yes, you are right. It was letter A. Okay, that's it, guys. That was it for today. Yo trabajo por el día, entonces I have to go back to my computer and work. I do this. I do this because I love teaching English. Obviously, these classes are free for you. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is, si te gustó lo que hice, you can subscribe to my channel. You can give us a like. You can also share with your friends and family members. That's the only thing I'm going to ask you to do obviously, if you liked what I do or what I did today. That is it for today. Next week, I believe, el martes que viene no podemos hacerlo, mi amor? Okay. El martes que viene no podemos hacer la clase, entonces voy a buscar otro, like I will find another day where we can do this. So look at my Facebook page and my YouTube. I will tell you when I will do the next class. Y si no, vamos a hacer la clase el martes de la semana siguiente. Okay? Thank you so much for coming here today. And again, well, thank you and see you next time.